But this isn't the Little Giants. For each of our gifts and passions don't always line up perfectly for us to play the role we want to. We don't get to limit ourselves to only the areas of mission that we feel most comfortable with or that feel tailored to us. Sometimes that happens, and it's great when it does, but sometimes we also just have to pick up the stone and place it on the wall. Sometimes we're called to be part of something that might make us uncomfortable or is outside of our comfort zone. Sometimes it won't look like there is a place for us. At least, not a place that we're excited about. When that happens, how do we respond, church? Do we open ourselves up to something new, or do we shut down opportunities? Do we enable our volunteers, or do we pass over them? Have we stood in the way of God's mission? Have we hindered the growth of the church? Have we discouraged the body of Christ by deciding that we don't fit the needs of a particular ministry, and so we excuse ourselves from the opportunity, from the need, instead of picking up the rough, uncomfortable stone, hefting the weight, and putting it on the wall? How are we doing with that, church? How are we doing with sitting in the recognition that we have taken ourselves out of the game at times? Or that we've removed mission opportunities from others because we haven't pushed ourselves and our neighbors to be uncomfortable, to see how they could play a role in the work that God is calling all of us to join Him in, because we haven't been willing to take the risk. What if the goldsmiths and perfumers are bad at building, we wonder? Is that a weak point in the wall now? It isn't, or doesn't have to be, if they're taught well and guided carefully by those with more experience. Again, we're so good at coming up with excuses that enable us to excuse ourselves and others from God's mission, from building the church.